Hey there, YouTube. Welcome on back to Artichoke Dip. My name is Rob, Solitaire Gamer, and this is the final episode in my series for new players, people who have played RPGs and want to play maybe Solitaire and they don't know where to start. This is a kind of how-to guide video series that I did. And this is the last one showing you with a few resources that I use, how I bring everything together, bring it to the tabletop, and sit down and play through a scenario and enjoy it. So normally I always reserve that for Sunday night. It seems like the best night for it. It's nice and quiet, and I can get a couple hours of really good game time in. All right, so just to do a quick recap so everybody's on the same page. The RPG system that I am using to run my game is this one right here, Swords and Wizardry, what I talked about in the second video, and works very nicely if you are playing Solitaire, or if you're doing what I'm doing and you're building a campaign. And how I like to do it is I like to play as I build. So this is the cemetery. I just set up the cemetery area. I got a backstory for myself, for my character, and for what is going on with the cemetery. So let's get to know my character first here. Here's my character, and this is Zaharum. And Zaharum is a necromancer. He is chaotic evil. And what I'm doing is I'm using the magic user spell slots out of the main core rulebook, but I'm just using a different source book with the same level. So he only has one spell to play with, so he's not too grossly overpowered. All right, so beyond that, Zaharum was abandoned at birth, and he was found and raised by a nomadic tribe. And this tribe had how do we say, not so nice practices. They practiced cannibalism and necromancy. And Zaharum grasped the concept of the dark arcane arts pretty quickly. He showed a lot of talent when he was very young, and a lot was vested into him with that. So, but it did get him into trouble, because he did try creating the summoning circle, and he was able to contact Necrol, the evil lord of the undead. And even though Necrol could have killed him, he did see something redeemable about him. And it was at that point that Necrol sent him on the path of necromancy, with the promise that as he keeps up his talents and studies hard enough, that death will not be a barrier for him, because after all, there is a such thing called lichhood, and he could join among the ranks of liches, living forever, growing in power as a necromancer. All right, so that's the backstory I have of him. He lost control of Necrol, kind of, but he didn't kill him at this point. But he's just not, well, out of normal character creation, it's just not one I would normally do. It's out of the box, I guess you would say, and I'm kind of enjoying this. So now the cemetery, I'll get to that. We jump into it right now. Okay, so the cemetery is found on a dark and cloudy night, and it blocks all the light from the stars and the moons, and a heavy fog begins to blanket together and surrounding the forest in this area. The sound of cackles of crows can be heard echoing throughout the forest, and the cemetery gates, as from what you can see from the vantage point as you're coming in, do appear to be open. And you see a little bit north of that, off the way, a building that has a warm glow emanating from the windows, and it's like a beacon of light repelling darkness. And as you look at it, you're kind of like, and you're more or less intrigued with the sight of this. I should say my character will be. Now, this is set, and let's get into this a little bit further. So first thing is, there is always a chance of an encounter. So let's see where we fall in with that encounter. Ooh, that's 74. Okay, so yeah, there's going to be an encounter. I might as well see what that encounter is and get that out of the way right now. So I'm gonna roll one percentage dice again. 97. Okay, so put those guys over there. Access this, some information. Now, what I do to speed up my encounters is I don't, unless I'm making a special type of creature, I really don't spend a whole lot of time copying stat block information over. You can if it makes it easier for you. I just build a list, and for common encounters, go straight to the source book and use the stat blocks out of there. You can also number the page, so you know exactly what page to go to, and it'll help speed things up. Just something I should have done for myself here. Okay, here we go. We got it. All right. So first thing is, what I have to see here. And I'm going to roll against the saving throw number. That's going to be my check. I want to see. I love that system of the saving throw number. And we're going to see what we have going on here. But first things first. As my character, as a hero, is following the path, and you can see there's a cemetery up here, and he's a necromancer. That's good, because that could mean there's lots of good things that could be found in the cemetery. And there's a house up there that looks inhabited, but he doesn't know by whom yet. And as he draws closer into the forest, now he has a saving throw of a 15, and I'm going to see if he can make this. And I'm going to utilize I don't have a bonus to my wisdom, so 15 or better. Let's see if he can. Oh, he does not. I hate that. Okay. So, as Zahiram is making his way closer to the cemetery and the building, he hears the sound of breaking underbrush, and then, to his surprise, with his staff in hand, he notices he has been caught off guard, and he's got 2 encounters here, and these are hobgoblins. Alright, so I better scratch this into my little pad here so I can tally up some HD. Let's see what the hit dice are. 1 + 1. Wow. Okay. So this should be fairly simple and straightforward, except for these guys do pack a punch, but they only have 2 HD. And this is what I like about the system, and there's a simple conversion chart for it as well. Okay, so I'm just going to put these on here so we know they each have 2 HD. Alright, so for the fact that I was caught off guard, both of these hobgoblins are going to get an attack off before I can, which is going to suck, but it is what it is. So let's roll a 20-sider and see where they fall in. Now, the good thing is you can use your dexterity bonus for a parry. So always keep that in mind with this game system. It is very cool. All right, so let me see here. All right, first hobgoblin. He rolls a 5. That's not gonna help whatsoever. Now this guy, a 19. Ooh. Now I have a saving throw of a 15. I could add my dex bonus to that to see if I could successful at parrying his attack, and I think I'm gonna try that because otherwise it's gonna be a quick game. Oh, good for me. I rolled a 20. I have. So with my quarterstaff, as he comes in for the attack, I'm able to pow, hit him, knock him off guard. And I'm going to say he moves a step over to his, like that. Okay, so now I can take my attack. I think I'm just going to try to attack him with the staff. I think it's just the best thing to do. Alright, so let me re-roll that. Okay. 15. I have a 15 and my opponent is a 14, so I do hit. I do 1d6. Oh, so I've done 1 point, which is not good because 1 point on my conversion chart does nothing. So it's fairly simple concept with using HD or hit dice rather than hit points. So 1 point of weapon damage does nothing. It's just an attack that has been absorbed by the armor. 2 through 5 points do 1 HD point of damage. 6 through 9 points do 2 points of hit die damage, and a 10 or more weapon points do 4 points of damage, HD damage. So if it's confusing to people out there, it's very simple, but yeah, I know. You can look at that and say, well, it's 1 point of damage, it's something, but this system does balance itself out. I do like that about it. It keeps it very well balanced and fair. All right, so now that's the end of that round. Now the hobgoblins get to go again. Oh boy. Oh man. Oh, lost that 4-sider. Have to grab another one. Alright. So first things first. First hobgoblin. He does an 8. I'm gonna move him up here. Show that, and then this hobgoblin. 14. Well, my AC is an 11. Unfortunately, that does hit me. I might want to try to parry this again. So I get a +1 to the roll. I gotta have a 15 or better. A 14 plus 1 is a 15. I am able to parry the attack and evade him once again. Okay. Ha 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 ha. I'm thinking at this point I might want to resort to some magic here. I think I'm gonna cast Fear. Oh boy. That'll be my next turn, though, because unfortunately the hobgoblins get to take theirs now. Alright, so... move them like that. He steps in for the attack. A 9, which is a miss. This guy moves up there. And it's a 4, so lucky for me. Alright, I am going to cast, and this is a spell called Fear. I'll explain how Fear works. So, they have to roll a saving throw after this spell is cast. If they fail, they automatically fail the morale save and will flee the area for 1d4 rounds. So, for my turn, I am casting Fear upon them. And now I have to roll saves. Let me see, they have a saving throw of 17. So let's see what they get. So the first one, save of 17. Oh my god, he gets a 20. This guy right here, a 17. Wow. That did not go the way I anticipated it to. So, to my necromancer's surprise, his spell of Fear does not work on them, and he's got 2 angry-looking cold hobgoblins bearing down on him with weapons. Let's see how this is gonna end. Oh, a 2 and a 9. Neither one of them attacks work, so it looks like this is it's gonna get real time. Alright, I'm gonna try to attack him with my quarterstaff. Okay, rolled an 11 and I get a +1 to hit, which is a 12. The hobgoblin's AC is a 14, which that is not a successful attack. So unfortunately, I'm still in the same boat of water here. Alright. Hobgoblin's turn. Ooh. A 1 and a 20. And their weapon does 1d8 of damage. A 5. So I lose 2 HP. Oh boy. Alright, so this stinks. I'm getting beat up badly, and I don't have much support to help me here. I'm just going to attack. I don't know what else I can do at this point. Let's see here. Ooh, I like what I see. I got a 14 plus 1 is a 15. That's enough to hit this one, and I do 1d6 of damage. Let's hope I roll high on this. Come on. A 5. That's going to do 2 HD of damage. My necromancer takes his quarterstaff and just bashes this thing's skull right in. Alright, at least it levels the playing field there for a moment. And now it's this hobgoblin's turn. A 12. Fortunately, that does hit. I can see if I can parry this. I have a 15. I get a +1 to my roll. 12 12 plus 1, 13. No, unfortunately, I'm going to take some damage here. Two. So I'm going to take another point of damage. Which leaves me at 2. I only have 5 hit points. Okay. Alright, hopefully I can hit this guy this time. Come on. Come on. Ooh, 16 plus 1 is a 17. That is more than enough. Hope my d6 rolls high. 3. Not bad. Doesn't 1 HD of damage. So he'll be down to 1. Okay. Now, let's see if the hobgoblin is unsuccessful. I hope he is. Ooh, a 2. That is very good. I am going to try to do another attack, and then I think at that point my best recourse of action will be to retreat and run to that building. So let's go. A 2. Oh, God. No, I missed, and I am going to move him here, which he will get a free attack before he takes his next rounds of attack. So I missed. I'm running away, and he got a 17, which isn't good. Oh man, a 2 through 5, which is another point of damage. So I'm down to 1 HP now. This guy ain't gonna last too long. Okay, so now the hobgoblin gets to take his normal turn, because I did, after the attack, flee the engagement. So he's going to take step up, and he's going to get another attack. Come on, roll low, roll low. An 8, that's good. Okay, so Zarhiram, holding his side and bleeding from his wounds, makes his way to the building he could see in the distance now. Following directly behind him is a hobgoblin chasing him from the darkness. And he's hoping he can just... hoping the door is at least unlocked. And as he reaches the door, this is going to be my next question. Is the door locked? That I do not know. So, okay, let's take a few guesses at things here. First thing is, it is night. And it is a cemetery. I would say that's going to give a plus 30 to whatever I roll here on this percentage. Okay, so that's going to be a 60%. So with the 60% or less, the door will be unlocked. A 60% or more, the door is locked. Okay, I rolled an 18%. So, to Zahiram's surprise, as he gets up to the door and he knocks on it and grabs it and opens the door. As he opens up, he can see in the other end of the lodge a surprised look from an elderly gentleman. And this is where my NPC for the cemetery comes in. And his name is Normer. And he is the undertaker of the cemetery and maintains all this. Normer is an elderly man. He tends to the cemetery. He lives here in his lodge. He takes care of things. And he keeps an eye on people that come around. He knows good people that are coming to visit graves. And he has a nose for evil people. So, first thing I'm going to have to do here is, because evil aligned characters have to pass a 30% or lower or Norman, not Norman, Normir will become very belligerent with them, and he's not gonna want them around because he doesn't like evil people. So let's roll and see how this is going to work out with my character. Oh god, I hope this goes good. Because if not, this is a very short-lived character. All right, a 64%. So as Normir approaches, something about me he does not like, and he screams to get out of his lodge. And as he's approaching me, he grabs a shovel by the door and begins to swing it. So here's my problem. I got a very upset, angry NPC inside of this lodge, and I got a hobgoblin running after me. So I guess this is what I need to do. I need to see who acts first, and first one will be for the kobold. He comes in at a 7. Second one is the NPC. He comes in at a 13. Okay. So the NPC is going to swing this shovel at me. He rolls a 12, which does hit me, and I'm going to see if I can parry that. If not, this may be the end of my character. Okay, I rolled a 16, and I get a +1 for my dex, so I do make it. I evade the attack and fall back out of the doorway just in time to turn my eyes to see the hobgoblin that races up out of the darkness of the fog here, and more so into the light of the fire, screaming at the top of his lungs, waving his weapon in the air in a battle cry. And now let's see if he hits my character. That's gonna be, because I'm a lot of actions at this point. He rolls a 5. Luckily, he does not hit me, but I have bigger issues to deal with. I think I'm going to just do a counter attack. I have no other option here. I mean, I'm gonna get killed by the NPC, or I'm gonna get killed by the hobgoblin. That's my only two choices. Oh, okay. So it worked out good. I rolled a 17 +1. And that's going to be an 18 against the AC. Now, I'm going to see how many points of damage. Hopefully this rolls high. 3. Okay, that's good. That does a point of HD damage, which does kill the hobgoblin. And so the hobgoblin has been taken out. I'm severely wounded, and the NPC is kicking me out of the area. So from here, this is where it's going to get very interesting, and to see how the story takes shape. Go back to my main campaign setting, because this is the cemetery I currently have here, and see what area he goes into next. I have made a simple little sandboxy table for myself for my campaign setting, and he's currently in the cemetery. He's going to flee the cemetery area. Or do I have to? No, I wouldn't have to, technically. But it doesn't make much sense to hang out around here being wounded and having a very angry NPC either. So can I hang out here? No, I should probably flee, and let's see where he flees to. I'm gonna roll a 20-sider. And I come to an 11. Oh, the Living Huts District. So that's where I'm gonna leave this scenario off, so I can write the next one. And because I have not made it to the Living Huts District yet, so that is yet to be created. I just created the cemetery area, and as my character, Zahiram, leaves the area and begins to hasten his step towards the light of the city ahead of him, because he's in the outer boundaries of the city, more towards the wooded forest areas where the cemetery lies. He's now heading closer in towards the river where there's more population, and he can see many windows lit by the light of fires, and it's going to be a little bit more busier than what he is accustomed to, but he knows one thing: he needs healing, and he needs to find some companions if he's going to roam through the wild areas of Terranoth, because they have proved to be very dangerous so far. All right, so that's where I'm going to leave this off. I hope you guys enjoyed that, seeing how this is just a little scenario that I came up with of a larger one, and just rolling on a sandbag style type of table that I created myself. Here it is. Here's a cemetery, and the cool thing is I can go back through this several times, because I made a table to where multiple events could happen, and I even left it open to where I can have night and day encounters, so encounters will change in this area as well. The only thing that's going to stay, I guess you could say, permanent, that will not change, is the NPC, who we have not even seen the inside of the hut because he got kicked out because he's an evil creature, in the cemetery. But all of that is more to come in the future. All right, my friends, and that was my solo gaming session. Man, that was fun. I was really hoping it was going to go a different direction, but you know, at least he survived, and he's heading towards a of all things, a necromancer whose spell did not work, and was ran off by a few hobgoblins. All right, my friends, if you liked the video, you know, let me know. Click the like button, and of course, you can always feel free to click the subscribe button, followed by the bell icon. When I upload new videos, you'll get a notification. And with that being said, my friends, this is ArtichokeDip signing off.